Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and I am here with another haul. I have got a Temu item and then I've got some Goodwill finds. And I don't think it'll be a long video, so hopefully you'll stick around and we'll have some fun together. Chit chat, take beverage breaks, and just have some fun looking at stuff. All right, so this first item is from Temu. It's from a local warehouse. I still only have access to local warehouse. And I don't even, okay, I'm really frustrated because they took away Fishland from me. And I still had some 100 days left on it. And I had enough fish food to finish the game, but I wasn't, sometimes it gets just really old, you know, pushing the buttons. Well, then they took it away and said it wasn't said it's randomized who gets access to that. Well, Jason still has access to his, so it's super frustrating. But yeah, I don't have access yet to anything other than local warehouse, so I've not been placing orders beyond, well, this is a t-shirt that I got local warehouse, and you guys, the sizing is different for local warehouses. As I'm seeing, this fits, I don't know, it just fits. It's really long and the sleeves are really long, and I got an XL, which XL in the t-shirts that I was getting from Temu were not this big. So just keep that in mind. Perhaps they have a different size chart on their items, and I just was so used to Temu sizing being kind of the same across the board, but it's not. And I probably should have realized it's not, because when is it ever? I mean, from store to store, it's not the same. All right, so this item came from local warehouse. They're showing this a lot. I don't know, is it Marc Jacobs that does the totes that say tote bag or whatever? Well, this is like the newer version of that that's going around. Tote bag. I picked out this one because I love bright pink. But okay, so it looks one way to you guys, and this is how it looked to me in the listing. I knew it was going to be shiny, but I honestly thought, okay, so what it is, see if I can get it close enough. It is a bag with clear polyurethane or PET plastic, whatever, over it. So this material that this is what's underneath. So I didn't realize that that's what it was going to be. And so you can sort of separate it, sort of. Well, you're not supposed to, I'm sure, but it does separate. So Jason did not like that. Now for me, I still think it, I mean, from a distance, and this isn't a very big distance, it still looks like it's just shiny, but no, it really is a clear, what is this stuff called? But anyway, so they had this in a bunch of different colors. This is what the bottom of it looks like, and then it's got they're pretty sturdy straps, and on the inside it has kind of a linen kind of interior with a what's that called? It's like right on the tip of my tongue. But anywho, what is that called? I hate when I can't think of things and they're right on the tip of my tongue. It does have a zipper pocket, and it zips. It zips with a pretty silver zipper. So, but it does have gaps. It would have holes on both sides in case you had small things loose in here. But overall, I still think it's pretty. I love this color, and I don't know, like when you're looking at it up close and you can tell that it's plastic over it, I don't know what to think, but From this distance, I think it looks great. And, you know, I don't like people closer than this distance, so I think it'll work just fine. I can easily use that to carry my laptop to work. Now let's see what I paid for it. Why can't I? Chevron. Don't you hate that? When you cannot think of what something's called? Did you see that Temu was US Today's got best ranking for customer service? Okay, you guys, I have coupons now flipping through. Require a purchase with a designated number of items over a designated amount. So there's a $300 coupon bundle, $20 no minimum spend, and then a mystery coupon bundle. All right, well, I very rarely take them up on their deals anymore. So I'm becoming a very poor Temu hauler. All right, this bag says I paid $0. How was that? Well, let me look at the receipt. It's $0 because it used credit in my account. So it was originally $14.61. I got a discount of $6.09. And then once they added in the shipping, the $2.99 shipping, it came to $11.98, which got paid for in credit. And I've received $2.24 of price adjustments on it. So that's a pretty good price. So yeah, they still have great prices. I don't know. So you know what I think? Here's what I think. I think that their Temu Circle should come with free shipping. Like maybe, well, I don't want to say charge more for Temu Circle, but because it's already what, $3 a month? No, $3.33 a month, $9.99 for 3 months. Like I'd rather have free shipping for that, but maybe that means they'd need to charge more. But I don't know. I want there to be a way that local warehouses can be free too. So anyway, have you guys, okay, now I really want to get this. They have cheaper versions of this on here. You just have to shop around, but I really want to get this. I guess we're doing shop with me here for a second. I really want to get this box cutting blade because I have tons of boxes and I don't throw boxes away because I'm like, maybe I'll need that box to ship something to somebody. But sometimes I want to cut the box down to use as stabilizer in my shipments. And this would do that. So you guys may have seen this all over. It's all over TikTok too. And yeah, I really want one of these. This one's really pretty. It's blue. And actually, this one is, what's the limit for free shipping? Is it 30? Well, of course. This one comes in at $29.39. So just under. And there's ones, I think I found it as cheap as, oh, here's one for $19.92. So I would shop around for that. Oh, that's a really pretty one for $22. So they come in different colors. But yeah, so here's the bag I got, and it's currently $16.31. And you can't tell that it's clear over the other, but it also comes in black and brown. So, all right, well, let's move on to the Goodwill. Now, the Goodwill bins is like the best place to shop because for regular stuff in the bins, you pay by weight, but books you pay by height, at least in the bins by my area. So I can get a ton of books for very cheap because of the height thing. And overall, and you'll see there's tons of videos out there on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram of people that make a career out of reselling items that they find at Goodwill thrift thrift stores and the bins. Well, this was from a normal Goodwill store, the stuff I'm going to show you. And I find that Goodwill is becoming expensive for what it is. They've got crazy, like for example, today we saw some composition notebooks, the kind that you get back to school for 50 cents and that you can get at the Dollar Tree for what, $1.25. They had them there for $2.99. Now, come on, Goodwill, really? So, they're getting super expensive on things. But I actually found some really, really good deals at this particular Goodwill. So I was excited about that. So I'm just going to go through. Now, I think we actually have this exact same one. So this is a bingo game in a tin. It was marked $4.79. And I always like picking up bingo games because I like the cards. But let's open this one up. And this one didn't hurt because it came with a tin that I could then reuse for something else. It's got plastic. These, I like, okay. Well, I like the wooden or even cardboard ones of these because those can be used for stuff. I don't have like a drill or something because some people would take these and put them on dangles and stuff, but I just don't have that skill set or that supply. But, so yeah, so I'm not sure what I'll do with those unless I just sell them as a little kit thing. But it did have, and these are not, okay, well, these are from 1993, so they are technically vintage bingo cards. We do have this set already because they're double-sided. So one thing that's fun to do with these is look for your birthday. See if you can make your birthday out of these. So like, I would be looking for, shoot, does this go up to, what's the highest number that bingo goes up to? Is it 75? So I think I squeak in because I could get 11, 13, and 75. So I would like look for that. Or for your kids, it would be easier because well, maybe not. You guys are like my age too. But yeah, I could find my kids on here. So like, well, I guess I shouldn't say what their birthdays are on here, but that's a fun thing. But like, I can't find Jason's because he was born in 80, and I know the O does not go all the way up to 80. I think it's 15 for each letter, right? So that would be 75. But for those of you that are crafting, that might be a fun thing. And if you have like they sell the daubers, is that what they're called? Daubers? The bingo things that you use in bingo halls that you could then punch. Or if you have a stamp, like a heart stamp, you could stamp each one, or just, with a pen, draw over it, I think that's fun. So I have saved, when I find that I can do that with a card, because I can do that with all of them. Although Gracie's is a little bit harder because she's Groundhog Day, so that's 2-2. So then she'd only get 2 numbers on hers. But that's a fun thing to do too with bingo cards. But yeah, so it came with a lot. It also came with the instructions, and then this could be tea-dyed and made to look really, really old. You could cut these numbers out and use them for certain, yeah, so it does go to 75. So all kinds of things you can do with this. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas of what to do, I guess for the for these, I could also find their birthdays that way too, and the ones that I could do all 3 could keep these and then glue them down, I guess. But otherwise, I'm not sure what to do with all these. So, and then I already said this was $4.79. Green was half price, so I don't think I found very many green things. Because of course, it's always probably, it goes into rotation, and by the time that color goes on sale, most of those things are probably gone. All right, and then Jason found this one for me. It's a really cute box. It was also $4.79, and the box is in really good shape, so it's probably not very old. I wish they would have put the price tag on the bottom, because you know, I always have to be careful pulling the price tags off so it doesn't damage the box. But anyway, this one is Spanish cards, I guess. Here it is. Aquiesta, here it is. So, and then they look like this on the back side. They're super glossy, so they're definitely not old. We've got phrases, homeschool languages, color cards. I don't understand that, but we've got some that are just color cards. And then we've got food cards. I'm not getting close enough so you can read it, but so different food cards, more color cards. Let's see. Location cards, and so these look a little different right on the back. Action cards look like this. Then some that are just blank. And then they have little people or meeples. And more color cards. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of applications I can think of in the crafting world. So you guys know I like, or at least I tell you I like vintage is my preference. But I have been watching some of the TikTok girls that do true junk journaling. They actually use the junk that they collected for that day or the scraps from that day, and they do their layouts. Like it's not supposed to be an expensive hobby. It's supposed to be like the cheapest thing that you could do, right? But people like me have turned it into this commercial. We're the reasons why Goodwill's pricing their stuff so high, because we are making it a commercial industry, because we are trying to use it as another income source. And so it's just, so anyway, I watched these, and so because they're just using, like one girl was using all of her scraps or trash from her Chinese takeout. So she had the menu, she had the little envelope thing that the chopsticks come in, she had the wrapper from the fortune cookie, she had like, she got, I guess, a little, like, not glassine envelope, but a little envelope that had the sauce packets in it. So she used that envelope, and then she drained the sauce packets out of those and washed them, and then had those as like clear additions to her thing. And of course the fortune in the fortune cookie. So that's how junk journaling is supposed to be. And then it serves as a reminder to her of this excellent meal she had with friends or whatever, and doesn't cost her any extra money. She's not going out, looking for this. But for those of us that are trying to resell, be in the reseller business, why any of us want to do that, I don't know. I guess it's because we want to be our own boss. But I, for one, will never be able to make it my sole thing. Okay, it did come with a die. And then it's got this. So let's see what this is. Ah, okay, so then you get round cards. This is fantastic, you guys. So then somehow, maybe you have to see if you have any of these cards in your hand. Like maybe you pass these out and you're looking, but they're all different. So I know there's games out there where it's like who has the most of these things wins the card kind of thing. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But I love that there's circle ones too. That's fantastic. So I don't know, there's no like rules or anything that I can see. So I don't know what you're supposed to do with the die and the meeples. What are meeples really called? Are they just called player pieces? That's so boring. It's no wonder they got renamed. Okay, I don't think I saw any. So what will I do with this? Well, I will, oh, the box is cracked. Oh, the box is cracked. Did I do that? I probably did that. I don't remember it being cracked before. Well, maybe it was, because it's also cracked a little bit right here. Maybe I just didn't notice because the lid was on. That's okay. I can kind of glue that back together because it is kind of a pretty box. But what will I do with it? I think that maybe this doesn't even go with the game. Maybe this was somebody that used this set and, I don't know, made that up himself. But yeah, I'll probably try to save the box, even if it's taped, because that won't show when the lid's on, because the lid is so cute. And then I'll probably put these cards in sets to sell for other crafters like me that feel like you have to buy things to do your craft. Oh, that's funny. So as I put this down, someone like wrote on top of this. So there are, I don't know, can we see? There's a bunch of X's. Can you see that kind of carved in? So somebody was making X's on top of the box. All right, now this next thing, you guys. Okay, so I think I told you on the last video that eBay was offering sellers the chance to get $50 in money to spend on eBay if they sold something. So I found this and I thought this might be the perfect thing to try to sell on eBay. Barbie fashion maker. You guys, I had fashion plates in the 80s and this is from 1980. And it looks very similar except that, because it's got fashion plates up here, but it's got a carbon that you're using. Whereas, with the fashion plates, you put the plates down and then you had like a crayon inside a plastic thing. So it was kind of like you used the length of the crayon instead of the tip of the crayon. And then you would rub out your design and then you would color it in. So this one is just kind of replacing that process with the carbon. But I don't know if all the pieces are here because I couldn't open it in the store, but I thought this would be the perfect thing to try to sell on Etsy. No, on eBay. So it says it comes with a mechanical printer, an easy turning handle, 12 fashion design plates, totaling 24 fashion parts to mix and match, 4 reusable carbons, 20 sheets of paper, fashion plate tray, 4 colored pencils, and instructions. So I guess if you ran out of carbon paper, and I don't know if you can still buy carbon paper places, but if you ran out of that, then you could use the crayon method that I was referring to. But this was from Mattel, made in 1980. Let's unbox it and see, so you could create hundreds of designs. And I can't remember, I don't think my fashion plates were Barbie. I think they were just fashion plates. But let's hope that all the pieces are here. Okay, this looks like the carbon paper. It doesn't look like it's been used. Wouldn't you think that some of the carbon would be missing if it had been used? But why it's wadded up, I don't know. So I think we've got two pieces that don't look used. That's convenient for me. So let's put those back in this bag. All right, so then okay, this has seen better days. This has got some scratch marks, but I think you just put the plates on this piece, and this is supposed to keep them from sliding around. So I don't think it'll matter too much that those are scratched. And I'm trying to think if I can, it looks a little dirty. So I'm trying to think if I could kind of clean it up with a wet wipe. Let's see if I think I can make it any cleaner. But any of you have trouble getting these things to work? They either pull too many out at once or it gets stuck. So then it just, I don't know, it doesn't seem to ever work for me very well. You guys, I've had this one since one of my first YouTube videos because I only use it for this channel. And it's still damp, but it's not, you know, like, okay, well, can we tell? We can't tell from this. I mean, in person, I can see it looks a little bit dirty. Okay, yeah, it is pulling it up a little bit. So I'll probably, you know, try to, if we find it, all the pieces are here. Now, obviously, if some big important piece is missing, then this won't matter. And then I'll just be, you know, using it for parts. But anyway, we got this, which would be the fashion plate tray. All right, we got the maker. Okay, and the roller is turning in there, so I think that is working. And then we just have plates left. Is that all we're supposed to have? Mechanical printer, easy turning handle, 12 fashion design plates. So I guess that's what we're going to count here next. 4 reusable carbons. We were lucky and we had 2. 20 sheets of paper. Okay, so it's got no paper, but they can provide their own paper. Fashion plate tray. We have that. The Ford colored pencils. So there's no pencils and there's no instructions. So it's not complete, but let's see if we've got all the trays. Not trays, plates. Okay. I was trying to put, so we've got 2 of the feet. And then 2 of the lower leg. So wait a second. So like these are supposed to go together like this. Okay, so that makes sense kind of for this one. But obviously, so they aren't completely interchangeable. Okay, but we're getting sidetracked. Let's just count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So all the plates are here. So I think that is enough to sell, right? That is enough to, you can definitely do everything you need to do with this. Now, what am I going to find? Am I going to find any of these already on eBay? Let's just look, right? Because some of this channel is about helping you learn how to, if you want to kind of resell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Google Chrome on my phone, because it has picture lookup. So when you go into Google Chrome on your phone, right here is the picture icon. You click it, and then you can either pull up a picture or you can click and take a picture. So I'm going to just hold it up and take a picture. And then it finds comparable things. So first thing on eBay, 20 bucks. So if I could sell it for 20 bucks, that's a good flip, because I paid $4.79. And that was for 1981. Now it looks like maybe they redid it in 1997. And somebody's selling that one for 15. Here's another one that has the 1980 version. They're selling it for $8.88. Okay, so this may not be as big of a win as I was hoping for, but I could still double my money, which is pretty good. Let's see if anyone else has a comparable. I mean, the fact that there are those ones out there for lower prices, why would anybody spend more for mine, is kind of how I look at it. Sold at auction. But how much did they sell it for? Well, that one was in super condition, and it sold. Oh, it looks like it was like brand new. Well, no, it's not. It's got some damage. So that damage we saw on the plate, or the plate holder, is probably from it going through the machine. Yeah, I can't tell how much that one sold for on invaluable.com. Let's look up one more. The other thing you could do too is, if you owned this and you didn't want to get rid of it, you could run it through and make the different designs and have that be in your junk journals. Okay, so I'm not seeing any more. So yeah, so I was thinking in my head like, oh, somebody will pay 25 bucks for this. But no, it's not quite as popular as I thought. Perhaps the fashion plates that I had were more popular. I don't know. But anyway, let's make this my thumbnail, since people like nostalgic things. All right. Next. This is gonna seem silly, but I spent $4.79 for this because of when I'm doing packaging. I know places like schools and people that do professional packing have something to put their tape on that then, and I know you can get the rollers, but I wanted something more sturdy. So this one is sturdy. It's heavy. It's a heavy metal one. This comes out, so you've got to make sure you get tape that will fit around that. So perhaps, I mean, I got it for clear tape, But let's see if this one would work. Take the tape off that was holding it together. So you could have two separate. I think it's like, I think it would fit if I pushed more, but I kind of don't want to get it stuck because this isn't the one that I want on here. But yeah, it's the right size. So I think I would just push more to get that one on. So I guess in that respect, I kind of wish this was a little bit wider so that I could have had this and a clear on at the same time. But here, this is my Amazon tape, easy peasy. So I don't know if this was overpaying or underpaying, but I am super happy about this. Like, I can't even tell you how happy I am about this. So it's something I've always wanted since I had to start, or always wanted, but since I started selling things, I've wanted one of these, because I remember, I don't know, maybe it was working in the library, because we would have to tear off strips of tape for magazine spines and other things. So yeah, I think maybe that's where I'm remembering it. All right, time for another drink. Okay. Then I found this box. Now, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Seven Plaza, it's one of Seven Plaza's favorite illustrators. And I keep wanting to say Marian Baston, but that's not it. It looks like, so in America, I would say Marjoline, but I don't think all those letters sound the same in Dutch. Marjoline Baston. So anyway, I should have watched one of Seven Plaza's videos before I did this so I could have pronounced it right. Now it needs some cleaning up, but it's got, you know, one of her pictures. I guess you could replace this. It looks like this moves, so you could replace it with a picture of your own if you wanted. And it's got some, you know, bits on it. But the exterior of it, it's okay. So it's a little dirty on this side too. But I didn't see any noticeable like holes or cracks or whatever. And it was also $4.79. We're seeing a theme, right? So, and then this is what the front looks like. So it's got 4 drawers that you pull out, and they've got some of her artwork in it. And this one says Vacation Treasures. Now I'm not going to use it for whatever it said, but this one is From the Sea. I'm going to use it for ephemera. Now this box is a little banged up, but it won't matter for what I'm storing in it. Small Discoveries. Oh, hang on. So overall, it's in pretty good shape. A Walk in the Woods. And then the top opens to more stuff. So I just thought this was great. So this would be another thing I can keep my scraps and stuff in. or the pretty things I create that I then add into things. All right, then I also bought a bunch of Disney VHS. Now, on a previous visit, I had bought a bunch of them. And what do I want to do with them? I am pulling out and Jason already did that, so I brought down the result. I'm pulling out well, I'll just show you. Cutting it out so that we can get all the parts of the cover. So, okay, that cover had some kind of chocolate on it, I think. Hope it was chocolate. Okay, so there's multiple parts of this. It looks like he's got them all put together. So I think I can take like this out. So for those of you that actually make your own journals, these would be, so you know, you get the video. So here's Lady and the Tramp. I took all the ones they had. Okay, so most of them were 24 cents. There was a couple that were 99 cents. I don't know what the difference was, except somebody was being generous. I've never seen them for 24 cents. So I, of course, snapped it. But so when you take it apart, you get, of course, this part. And so I will be cutting it here. So I will have a bookmark. This will become a bookmark, and I'll be laminating it. So it'll be bookmark, and then I'll have a front cover and a back cover to the journal. What I can't decide yet is most of the people that sell journals made out of these just fill it with plain paper. So I can't decide if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to make it a junk journal where I fill it with different stuff. Maybe for these I should just do the plain paper and save the Reader's Digest ones for the junky style. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. But anyway, bookmark front and back. So you get that. And then you also get, I mean, it's grimy, so it kind of needs to be cleaned up, but you get like some acetate that you could use for windowed envelopes or tuck spots in journals or whatever. So lots of things you could use this for. I mean, it definitely needs to be cleaned. And they do get wrinkled, okay, because a lot of these do see heat damage, whether they were sitting on top of a VCR or they were sitting out in the car, or perhaps they even came like that from the initial distributor. So there is some wrinkly parts, so I don't know how well that'll work for things. But then you also get vinyl, a piece of white vinyl that you could use for any number of things. I mean, you could make this a cover that you decorate. So you get that, and then you also get the cardboard. Now you guys, this is already set and ready. So those of you that do sewing journals, you've already got your chipboard, and all you have to do is do your sewing against the spine. And you can even go all the way up to here and down to here, but you can also separate this into pieces. But yeah, it's already made for you. So if I were doing that, that would be awesome. Now I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with these, but I've got them. So anyway, I got Lady and the Tramp, and we're just gonna go take a walk down memory lane. Oh, and some of them come with little extras in them. So like this was a commemorative one apparently, so it's got a little song booklet, and then a kind of registration card, because people used to register their things. Oh, and then we've got some coupons. Does it have a date on it? 1997. Save this collector's stamp to earn free Disney videos. And earn free videos with Disney's Video Reward Program. Little booklet. Oh, don't watch Old Yeller. So some of them, sometimes they have extra little things like that. Okay, so we got Lady and the Tramp. Let me put those pieces back together. Ooh. Get the cardboard. You guys, the finale of this episode, I think, is so cool. So I'm trying to, you know, build suspense. All right, so we got 101 Dalmatians. This is going to be a mess. Why do I think I need to do this? I'm trying to increase the length of this video. Let's be honest. But where can I put these that they won't fall over? Okay. Let me get this one out of. I'm off. I'm off because this one's now got two. Well, it doesn't matter. They're all gonna get segregated into their kind anyway. Oh, this one's different. This one's got green vinyl. And again, we've got some game playing going on in the background in case you hear that. And this one is the Enchanted Christmas. Maybe that's why it was green vinyl. And then Charlotte's Web. But yeah, the fact that these were all a 24 cents practically, most of them, means that I can take the risk of trying to sell them as a journal without much risk. Aladdin. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I think some of these are actually collector's items, but we didn't care. Beauty and the Beast, the regular one. Like, do you remember when Disney would like pull it out of the vault and release it on video for like, I don't know how many months they would sell it before they put it back in the vault? Little Mermaid, fully restored special edition. Oh, you guys, I hate that Little Mermaid song where she's like on land for the first time. Oh, that song drives me nuts. All right, we've got A Bug's Life. Here's the Mary Poppins. There were 14 of these, I think. The Wizard of Oz. So I guess not all Disney, but The Wizard of Oz. I thought that was fun because, you know, some people like journals like this because it's nostalgic and, you know, if they have a favorite, they buy anything with that on it. We've got Dumbo, and then we've got Pocahontas and Pocahontas 2. Now they do, I think I mentioned this before, sometimes these have like real people on them, and I don't like those. Like the 101 Dalmatians, sometimes it's the one with Glenn Close on the cover, and I don't want that kind. So, okay, one more thing. When we were walking up to check out, it was 10 minutes before the store was closing, and they have a glass case up front, and on the bottom of the glass case there was a Dollar Tree storage container that said Viewmaster and Reels. I am always looking for Viewmasters, and I don't think I've ever found them in a thrift store. I do occasionally find them in antique stores, but they are so expensive. So for example, perhaps I find say I just find the reels and no Viewmaster to go with it, maybe 10 bucks for 6 reels. If it actually has the Viewmaster with it, then we're talking like 20 something dollars. So, and I don't feel like that's a good price for so few reels, because I'm looking at the reels as something I can stick in a junk journal tuck spot. So this was sitting up there. You couldn't see because it was on the bottom shelf, so all you could really see was this, and then it had this tag on it. So they just got it right on $5.24 and $30. I was like, oh, well, I'll at least ask to see it, because it says Vintage Viewmaster with reels. So she goes and gets it, and she's starting to open it. And the second she's starting to open it, I knew I was buying it, because you guys, look how many are in there. I mean, it's crazy. So you get, I got the Viewmaster, which build a complete library of Viewmaster stereoscope picture reels. So we've got the authentic box. We've got a working Viewmaster. I mean, it's got metal parts on it, you guys, so I feel like it is pretty vintage. It had a Anheuser-Busch Brewery and world famous Clydesdale reels in it. But does it have a date on here anywhere? So what I've figured is there's kind of 2 brands that go with this. There's the Sawyer's one, and then there's GAF, G-A-F. This Viewmaster is made by the Sawyer one, so I'll have to just look that up. Oh, and the boxes had better days, but let me put this back in. So anyway, came with that. Does it say on here what the age is? No, it's got like the patent and stuff on it. I'm not sure I've ever seen one with the metal. Like, I feel like I've probably only ever seen the all plastic versions. So anyway, let me take that out. So then we've got all of these Viewmasters. So on the way home, Jason was driving, so I'm like trying, because they weren't organized in their correct envelopes. And then some of them came, there were 2 that came like this. And when we were checking this out, the lady was like, oh, and there's a couple like Toy Story booklets that aren't even Viewmaster in there, so that's like an extra. Well, I haven't found those, so I don't know if she was really talking about these, but these are Viewmaster. So okay, I may be losing power here in a minute. It sounded like a transformer just blew outside, but I still have light. But I think Gregory upstairs is kind of scared. But that was the sound of my UPS that keeps power to my computer during a power outage. And usually when that happens, it means the power is going to go out, but it's not going out, so I guess we're okay. But this particular one was full of them. So I haven't counted yet to see how many I got, but I think, you guys, that this was well worth the $30. So what I was doing on the way home is I was going through, because, okay, so I learned, because I really didn't know. Let's use this one as a better example. So they came in envelopes like this, and it says there's 21 images because they almost all, so far I found they all came with 3 reels. And on each reel were 7 images, so that's how you get the 21. So this one was Missouri, and it's weird because the envelope itself, it has this gap here, which is a little weird, but it tells you on the back what the images are that you're looking at. And a lot of the envelopes have had this part ripped off, but each one of these is supposed to have a booklet and an envelope with the 3 reels. So that's what I've been going through, is trying to match up all of the parts, because there were several reels that were loose, several envelopes that were loose. So I've been going through, and I found one. I thought this was funny. So I found this one. It says Scenic USA, and I was like, I wonder what that is. So I look on the back, and it's like, Father Awakens, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, The Chimney, and Saint Nick at Work. So I'm like, that doesn't match. So somebody had taped these two together and they don't match. So and then I found the front piece of this. So then I was like, okay, because of who I am, I'm gonna have to do some surgery and get these put back together. But anyway, so I was going through and trying to match up envelopes I got 2 St. Louis ones, which was cool. But again, they've had the tops torn off. So then there were lots of these just loose. There are a lot of these that are just 1 reel. So you just get the 7 pictures. So several of those. So I've got to make sure that they all match up correctly. And yeah, so then I've just got a bunch of these parts, but there's some great titles. So what I found so far, I've got Colorado, Missouri, Illinois, Carlsbad Caverns, Pinocchio. This one was Wonderful World of Disney, Pinocchio, Lady and the Tramp, and Snow White. St. Louis, Winnie the Pooh, Holly Hobby. So I found the 3 Holly Hobby things, and I found that the person had written Holly Hobby on this, but I haven't found the book or the outside sleeve for that yet. United States, there were several of these United States travel, Mountain States, Hawaii. So here was The Night Before Christmas. So I need to tape it onto the other one, and what they did to make up for it is they just taped it to the inside envelope. So that'll take some surgery. Families, Seasons, and Holidays. In the Beginning, a Bible one with creation, Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. There's also a Moses one in here somewhere. There were a couple Bambi ones. I haven't found the second Bambi envelope yet. And then there were some Fantasyland. So I was so excited. I cannot tell you how excited. So if I can get through this, I'll let you guys know how many I ended up with. But I think it's well worth it. So some of these I might, like some of these that are like this, these might be worth more, because I feel like they'd have to be older, wouldn't you? Copyright 1950. So copyright 1950 on this. Let me see if I can find a date on one of these others. Colorado. Does this have a date anywhere? No. Not on the outside. Maybe it does on the book on the inside. But, okay, that was let me look on a different one. 1972 for Moses. 1958, this is the one that has the wrong back. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I don't know if somebody came across this and was like, I'm just going to try to resell the whole set, but I kind of don't want to, because I think these are fun. Now, would they be fun getting them in a junk journal? Like, I know there's no real way to look at these without having the Viewmaster, and most people don't have a Viewmaster. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. All I can say is I am beyond happy to have found this in a Goodwill, and I feel like, I mean, $30 is expensive for a Goodwill, but it was not expensive for this. So that was the best part. I mean, so excited. So now it's just to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Because like in some respects, you don't want to, you know, if they come in sets of 3, the reels, you don't want to break those up. But yet the whole part about junk journaling is to just reuse things that aren't loved anymore. So I don't know. We'll see. I know there's collectors out there, so I'm going to do some research before I just go willy-nilly crazy like. So, okay, well, that was it for this video. Let me get my TV trivia, and we'll see how we do on this card. All right, who was the host on Hollywood Squares? Hang on. Well, shoot. Well, I leave my commentary for later. Name Peter Graves' famous acting brother. Name the character on the Folgers coffee commercials. Who played Amos McCoy? With what word did David Garroway close his show, Garroway at Large? What was Wilbur's last name on Mr. Ed? Who was the host of the documentary series America? Who were the regular dancers on Dick Clark Presents The Rock and Roll Years? Oh my gosh, do I know any of these? I don't know if I know any of these. Okay, who was the host on Hollywood Squares? You guys, that's one of those shows that has had so many hosts over the year. But this game is 1984. But it's saying who was the host. I want to say, you guys, I was watching him, I think, on Password the other day. I want to say Bert Convy. Convy, right? Not Convoy. Convy? But I think didn't somebody that used to host this show recently die? That's terrible. I always am bringing up celebrities that have died. So I'm going to say Bert Convy, but that's probably not right. Name Peter Graves' famous acting brother. I actually looked this up one time, not to find that, but I actually looked up Peter Graves one time because I kind of wondered, I couldn't remember if he had died or not. He was on Mission Impossible. What else was he on? Wasn't he on the airplane movies, or was that just Lloyd Bridges? Or were they both on that? Was he on, shoot. Did he do Unsolved Mysteries for a while after Robert Stack? I don't know. You can see we're going to have to look him up. But name his famous acting brother. You guys, I cannot remember. And it probably is somebody that isn't Graves. So I can't remember. Name the character on the Folgers coffee commercials. I don't know. Daphne. Who played Amos McCoy? I don't even know what that's from. Was that from like a Hatfield and McCoy? I don't know. So if I have to guess, I'm going to say it's a Western. And we're going to say Clint Eastwood because that was probably his name on whatever one of those shows he was on. With what word did David Garroway close his show, Garroway at Large? With what word did he close it? So it couldn't have been, like if it was I'm out of here, it would have been here, right? So would it have simply been goodbye? I don't know what to guess. I'm just going to say goodbye. Or until next time. Those might be my two. I won't remember this, though, when I get back to the back of the card. What was Wilbur's last name on Mr. Ed? Ed? Wilbur Ed? Was Ed his last name? I watched that show, too, but I was younger, so I don't know. I didn't know Wilbur had a last name. Who was the host of the documentary series America? Would this have been like a news person? I don't even know when this was, so can I say, like, wouldn't it be ironic if it was Peter Jennings because he was Canadian? Like, I don't know. documentary back then, it seems like it would have had to have been on a news station. And then could it have been Walter Cronkite? Did he do? And then I'm trying to think of like the people that were on 60 Minutes or 2020. So Hugh Downs. I don't know. I don't know. If I have to guess, it's not going to be somebody I just mentioned probably, but I'm going to say Peter Jennings just because it's ironic. Is it ironic? Is that the right word? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Who were the regular dancers on Dick Clark Presents The Rock and Roll Years? I don't know. I never know the dancer troops' names. So I'm just going to say the Rockettes because I don't know what else to say. All right. Who was the host on Hollywood Squares? Peter Marshall. I don't know if he's one that just died. Name Peter Graves' famous acting brother, James Arness. Hopefully his name wasn't also Amos McCoy. Name the character on the Folgers coffee commercials. Mrs. Olson. That just makes me think of Little House on the Prairie. Who played Amos McCoy? Walter Brennan. With what word did David Garroway close his show Garroway at Large? Peace. What was Wilbur's last name on Mr. Ed? Post. So was it Ed Post? I'm assuming the horse has to have the same last name as the guy. Who was the host of the documentary series America? Alistair Cook. Wouldn't have guessed that. Who were the regular dancers on the Dick Clark Presents The Rock and Roll Years? The Jeff Kutash dancers. You guys, I think I don't know if this is the first time or not, but I got 0. Well, that's awesome. Well, that's okay. I can cry in my Viewmaster reels. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I really appreciate it. I enjoy doing this channel. And as you can see, even if I'm not buying Temu, I'm still buying something, unfortunately. So I hope that you will consider subscribing if you haven't yet. Checking and making sure you're still subscribed, because my subscribers are dropping like flies, and I can only hope it's because YouTube is accidentally doing something and that people aren't just leaving on purpose. But yeah, so check that, and I appreciate your kind comments and your thumbs and just everything. I just really appreciate the chance to have this opportunity to have this channel. Not everybody can spend time. Some people don't have time or money to craft and have hobbies and all that stuff. So I feel very blessed. I feel very 1%er in that respect, because most of the rest of the world, or a lot of the rest of the world, just doesn't have the same opportunities. So I'm very grateful for that. And when I sit and whine and complain, I haven't forgotten how lucky I am to be here. So thank you for being part of that journey with me. And wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.